Field. From Target Field, it's the Class 2A state championship game in baseball for the 2017 season. It all comes down to this final game between the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks and the Pierz Pioneers. The Redhawks, the number 1 seed in the tournament. The Pioneers, the number 3 seed. I'm J.W. Cox alongside Mike DiNardo from Minnehaha and Dave Rocheleau from Pierz. And we're going to take you right to the PA announcer for the introductions of this. This presentation is coming to you from Grand Stadium, BEC-TV, Prep 45 in the Minnesota State High School League. Back with the play-by-play action after the introductions of these two teams in the 2A championship game.
And the visiting team representing Section 4, their 4th state tournament appearance with a record of 25 wins and 2 losses, the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks. And representing Section 6, their 3rd tournament appearance, record of 26 and 2, the Pierz Pioneers. We will introduce the entire squads. Please line up along your respective baseline as your name is called. Diddy. Non-starters for Minnehaha Academy. Number 3, Noah Daney. 5, Ken Karatley. 7, Alex Evenson. Number 10, Alex Jordan. 32, John Goth. 20, Bennett Tyson. Number 9, Justin Evenson. 11, Luke Mailer, and number 1, Simon Hike. 22, Bruck Brumley. Well, the non-starters, my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. They should be the non-starters for the Redhawks. Number 2, Joseph Linton. Number 6, Dylan Karatley. Number 8, Mario Hike. 12, Connor Johnson. 13, James Wong. 14, Roddy McDonald. 15, Luke Johnson. 16, Michael DiNardo. Number 18, Will Wanry. Student manager Nick Wong and Bennett Thorough. Assistant coach Tom Kahns. Assistant coach Joe Protzman. And your head coach is Scott Glenn. Minnehaha Academy, a record of 25 wins and 2 losses. And now the non-starters for Pierz. Number 6, Colton Bozer. 7, Terry Shaw. 9, Isaac Adi. 10, Reese Kapsner. 12, Peter Schomer. 16, Jesse Marshik. 17, Eric Stuckmeyer. 18, Derek Schomer. 20, Alex Lochner. 22, Jonathan Hopkins. Also number 2, not able to play, Lucas Adi. And now your starting lineup for Pierz. Leading off, number 1, playing shortstop, Matt Taugis. Batting second, number 8, second baseman Lane Gertz. Batting third, number 3, catcher Matt Cummett. Batting fourth, number 21, Preston Rushlow. He's doing the pitching. Batting fifth, number 19, in center field, Brett Kapsner. Batting sixth, number 14, in left field, Luke Gertz. Batting seventh, number 23, first baseman Brandon Dickman. Batting eighth, number 5, designated hitter Alex Funk. And he'll be batting for number 4, the right fielder Thomas Funk. And batting ninth, number 11, third baseman Jackson Suska. The student manager Calvin Arsenault, assistant coach Rick Shabluski, Mark Warsiniak, assistant coach also Dylan Pittman, and head coach is Dan Sayer. The Pierz Pioneers. The umpires for this game, Josh Pagan at home plate. At first base, Davis Lampa. Third base is Joe Klender. Let's play championship baseball.
So there you have your starters for each of these two teams in this Class 2A State Championship Baseball clash. This is a rematch of last year's state semifinal, one of the two semifinals. Of course, it was Minnehaha Academy that would go on to win that game and win their state championship a year ago. And so we'll start there with the defending champs and the 1 seed in the tournament. Assistant Principal Mike Donardo, gracious enough to join us on a big day for your boys and your
pleasure.
school. Walk us through just the general thought of what this season has been like for your guys, knowing you had a lot of expectations as the defending champs and now getting back here.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys, we have 10 seniors on this team, a lot of whom were very important parts of last year's state championship run. They were excited to get back here. That was one of their goals, and to make it happen is really exciting. I know Coach has said that senior leadership has been just outstanding. They never really got rattled. You know, certain times things wouldn't go well during the year. They just would kind of let it go. You don't get rattled by that stuff when you've been through it a few times. And it's been really helpful. You just see that leadership on the team, but then especially a couple big sophomores who've done the bulk of the pitching have come up, one of whom starting today, Brock Brumley.
We'll talk about Brock Brumley as we roll forward. So 25-2 for the Redhawks coming in. The Pierz Pioneers, meanwhile, came up a game short. Activities Director Dave Rochel is with us. And again, they didn't win the championship, but they took third place, and that's got to leave a lot of hunger for the guys that did come back for this 2017 campaign.
Yeah, I remember last year, even after winning that third place game, the boys weren't even too happy because they were hoping to get down here to Target Field. So, again, you know, we had a good group of seniors last year. This year, again, you know, you're always led by your seniors. We got a good group again, and their goal is to get down here, and it's just so rewarding for them to be down here today playing in this championship game.
Pierz won the coin toss. That actually happened last week before they got here, and they will be the home team. So the Pioneers at 26-2 out of the Central Minnesota Conference, went 13-1 in conference play and ran through Section 6. And then the Redhawks at Minnehaha Academy were through Section 4 and the Independent Metro Athletic Conference, 25-2. And it will be Noah Daney who leads things off against Preston Rochlow. And we're about to get this 2A championship game underway as the right-handed hitting shortstop for the Redhawks takes a first pitch strike from Rochlow. And we are underway. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Noah was a starter on the team last year as a freshman. Played second base, played shortstop, depending on who was pitching.
Leadoff man hit .358 this season, takes a strike. He's 0 for 7 in the tournament, but has scored a run and struck out twice.
Yeah, he's really good at watching pitches, kind of making the pitcher work, and has come along with some power lately.
Swings at the third pitch of this game and grounds it to second base, where Lane Gertz is up with it over to first base in time. A 4-3 putout. And Dave, your nephew out there getting the start for this one.
Yeah. Again, he had a great year as a junior. He's 9-0 as a junior. And I know he had going into the section tournament, he had given up 1 run all year. I know he gave up 2 in the state tournament here. The last semifinal game, he gave up 2 earned runs. So he's given up 3 earned runs all year. He's 9-0, and I know he's been pitching very well. Nice surprise for Coach Sayre for him to come up and step up and be able to perform at this level. I know last year as a sophomore, he got a few innings in, but be able to come in this year and and really get things rolling.
Kenny Karatley, the second baseman, standing in for the Red Hawks, took the first pitch as a ball, swung over the second as a strike. The third is popped up towards us. Nobody down there, guys. I mean, just pop down there and grab it if you want.
Get any ball we want.
Souvenir makes it 1-2. So Karatley 4 for 7 in the tournament.
Yeah, Kenny's come on really well lately.
Grounded left side, third baseman Suska up with it over to first in time, and a 5-3 put out, couple of ground ball outs for Preston Rocheleau.
One thing that's been impressive with these guys is you'll see him ground out a couple times, maybe strike out or whatever, but it doesn't affect them. That's what's nice about having lots of experience. They'll come out, they'll just take every at-bat at a time.
These two teams ended up both in the top 3 in the state rankings, the final regular season rankings. Minnehaha Academy number 2 and Pierz number 3 at Class 2A. So Rocheleau kicks and fires a first pitch to the left-handed swinging Alex Evenson, the left fielder, hit .403 this season, 4 for 5 in the tournament.
Yeah, he's leading the team in RBIs with 26. He's just outstanding hitter.
Slaps that one foul, third base side and out of play. It's 0-2.
Alex pitched on Friday. He'd been nursing a sore shoulder for about the last 6 weeks and came in and really toughed it out. Had a great game. Pitched, gave up 3 runs on Friday when we got that semifinal win.
Ground ball, just the shortstop side of the mound. Chance for Tauchis. 3 on the infield. All ground ball putouts, 4-3, 5-3, and 6-3. And that is how the top half of the first of this 2A championship game will roll. Pioneers coming to bat in the bottom half of the inning, and we'll have it for you right here on Prep45.com. A scoreless top half of the first in this Class 2A state championship game here for baseball in 2017. So glad you're with us. And the Pierz Pioneers have their first at bat. J.W. Cox alongside Mike Donato and Dave Rocheleau. And it is Brock Brumley on the hill facing Matt Tauchis. He'll face Tauchis, Gertz, and Cummett here in this bottom half of the first. First pitch strike to the shortstop Tauchis, who's hitting .350 on the season.
And Tauchis had the big hit in the semifinal game. He pitched a 4-hit shutout and then got the game-winning walk-off hit in the bottom of the 7th to bring the Pioneers here to the championship game.
Swings and crushes this one out towards right. High for Jordan on his way in, but it's the second baseman, Karatley, who makes his way out into shallow right towards the line. Puts it away for out number 1, brings up Lane Gertz.
Yeah, Brumley's 11-1 on the season, 5-0 in the playoffs. One of those wins was a relief win, a big 10-inning win over SPA. We had to come back in the last inning to tie that up, and then won it on a bases-loaded wild pitch finally.
Last couple of games for the Red Hawks in section play, 1-run games. Winning that one in thrilling fashion. These two teams have played some close games in the playoffs as Gertz takes the strike, and it's 0-1.
And Gertz he's been starting since a freshman here. He's been our top hitter probably since his freshman year. And just a tremendous baseball player. I know this year he was battling all year long. He's got a torn labrum in his right arm, so he wasn't able to pitch this year. But fortunate enough for Coach Sayre and the Pioneers, he was able to play second base for us, and is still hitting over 400 this year. So very nice for Gertz.
Swings and slams that one foul down the third base line up into the seats here at Target Field in downtown Minneapolis. Great site for the 4-class baseball state tournament. Already crowned one champion. That was Parker's Prairie in Class A.
I know Lane's on the all-academic, all-state team, as well as he made the Lions All-Star game. So, again, credit to Lane for all his hard work.
He's 4 for 6 in this tournament, helping his team to the first 2 wins over New London Spicer and Duluth Marshall. Fouls another one.
Yeah, Brock will throw lots of different junk pitches for sure. He'll keep kids off balance. He's been able to really have good control all year. ERA of only about 1.37.
That one slapped fair this time down the left field line, and Lane Gertz will have the first base hit of this championship game. As he's on at first with a 1-out single from Matt Cummett, the catcher.
Again, I was going to say, Cummett again, another player has started for us since a freshman. Again, these guys, Lane and Cummett are battle tested. They both wrestlers, football players. They've been in 12 state tournament. This is their 12th state tournament. I think their 4th state championship game or match, I guess you would say. And Cummett's been another leader for us all year as far as football, wrestling, and baseball.
Pioneers who strike for the first base runners. This one's just nubbed out in front of the plate. It'll move the runner over to second with 2 outs. Swing there, 1-3 on the putout. Runner at second with 2 down for Preston Rocheleau.
Good Preston on the hill, he's been very well, but even at the plate this year now, he's been doing hitting .410 coming in today. Again, good contact hitter, good eye at the plate, and hopefully do the same thing here today.
2 for 5 in the state tournament. 6-2 the win over New London Spicer, 1-0 the win over Duluth Marshall. That's what Dave was talking about as Preston takes a strike. Tauchis had the big RBI single for the lone run in that game. Pioneers did leave 7 on in that game. But Tauchis kept things scoreless while his team found a way to score. Just off the plate outside. Meanwhile, for head coach Scott Glenn in his 9th season with the Red Hawks, 10-5 over Warroad in the opening round. Took advantage of some Warroad miscues and then won 8-3 over Maple Lake, who would eventually take the 3rd place game last week.
Yeah, Warroad jumped out with a bunch of hits. I believe they scored 4 runs right off the top of the first, and we came right back. Yeah, we're helped by some miscues, but our hitting really came into play.
Goff puts it away, staring up into right now it is sunshine on a partly cloudy sky, and the bottom of the first sees the first hit of the game, but a runner left at second base for the Pioneers. So scoreless, we go to the second in this Class 2A championship game right here, prep45.com. First pitch of the top half of the second was taken for a strike by Alex Jordan. Takes a ball, and it's 1-1 now. Jordan, Goff, and then Tyson.
Jordan batting .326 on the season, second in the team in RBIs with 26, and first in the team in RBIs and second in runs. Right fielder really hits well, can hit for power. Mostly gaps, though.
Scored 3 times in the tournament, takes a strike to even things up at 2-2 from the right-hander Rocheleau.
From Rocheleau, you'll see that he'll have a fastball, curveball, and he has a good changeup. That's been one of his main pitches, is be able to throw that for strikes, and has good change, good movement on it.
Right back up the middle. Chance out there for a moment for Tauchis, but that was ticketed for center field, and the first base hit of the game for the Redhawks comes to lead things off in the second. So each side opening up the seal with a hit. And that will bring up the first baseman, Johnny Goff.
Yeah, Goff can really hit for power. He crushed a ball the other day in the semifinals that really got things going. Hit it to deep center. Fortunately, at Dick Putz Field, it's pretty deep. That stayed in.
2A tournament, first 2 rounds at Dick Putz Field in St. Cloud. As the first pitch taken for a strike to Goff. 356 in the regular year, couple of home runs. He's driven in 3 here in the state tournament.
Yeah, Goff will be heading to the University of Minnesota. He wants to study nursing, and he plans to play on their club baseball team.
Check on the run over at first. It's Alex Jordan who singled.
And he's one of our 3 players. He was academic all-state. Really proud of the work these guys put in the classroom.
Down in the dirt, low and away, so it's even up at 1-1. Rocheleau worked 3 ground ball outs in the first inning, greeted with a single back up the middle. Turn, quick throw over to first. Just a dive back in time for Goff. This is the best scoring defense as far as pitching and runs allowed per game in the Pierz Pioneers in Class 2A. Less than 2 runs per game.
Right, I think we had 13 shutouts on the year. I know they keep the fans' heart beating, because I think in 3 one-run games,
Turns you pretty close.
We've been involved in about 7 run games. So, but yeah, defense and pitching has been the main thing for this team.
3 times in the postseason it's been decided by 1 run, including that semifinal victory we talked about. Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got the hot hitting team and a top 5 offense for the Redhawks, who score about 8 runs per game on average.
Yeah, I especially in the state tournament. I mean, we had several 1-run games, close games in the earlier in the section playoffs,
Yep.
but state tournament the last couple of times our bats have really come alive.
That one's slapped. That'll get down for a base hit towards the gap. Funk running over to cut it off. He won't get it. That's going to roll a long way here at Target Field. Rounding third comes Jordan. He's going to wave home. Looks like a triple for Goff. He'll be in there with no throw, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Redhawks on an RBI triple for Johnny Goff.
That's nice. That is his first triple on the season. That's a way to get that in that gap, and he runs pretty well.
Yeah, you hit her in a perfect spot right to the gap, and big alleys out here, and a long run for the center or right fielder, and be able to drive that first run of the game in.
So the RBI for Goff, that's his 4th run batted in of the state tournament. And it brings up Bennett Tyson, the third baseman. He's 2 for 7 in the tournament. Has produced 2 runs himself.
Yeah, Tyson's a sophomore. He was with the team last year. Didn't play much in the state tournament, but has really seen a lot of action this year as the second pitcher and the third baseman.
As we mentioned off the top, this is a rematch of a semifinal last year, so both of these teams back to the state tournament for 2 straight seasons. It's actually 3 straight years here for the Redhawks. This one grounded up the middle, shortstop. Tauchis picks it up, fires over to first. Runner held. Probably a good play from Rocheleau there to let that one go, let his fielder make that throw, set, and move towards first base.
Yeah, I think the infield wasn't all the way up. It was kind of medium depth, was able to hold him at third. Again, with 1 out here, looks like Sarah's going to do Coach Sarah going to elect to have him come up here a little bit closer than they did last time. The corners were up, but the middle infielders, medium depth, now they're coming up, playing in for that, cut that run down at the plate.
Goff on at third base, and Justin Evenson, the catcher, stands in. Takes the first pitch outside.
Yeah, Evenson really had a great day the other day. He's batting .500 in the state tournament games, and he hit his first career home run hard off of the scoreboard. He looked about as surprised as everybody when it went out, but he sure hit it hard.
Field is in at the changeup that just skips in front of the plate. Blocked nicely though by Cummett.
That was about 6 feet in front there. I think Preston hung on to it too long.
A lot of room
by Cummett, yeah.
A lot of room back there if something gets by.
Yeah, much like the gaps that we were just saw on that triple.
That's one thing I've been really impressed with, though, watching especially section playoffs and watching different teams play. You don't see too many balls thrown and wild pitches. The catchers are really high quality. The pitchers know what they're doing. It's very impressive.
Yeah, and that's what gets them here. Good defense and timely hitting will get you here too.
Yeah. 2-1 pitch. backing out there, taking a strike. Looked like Evenson was looking for some time out there. Yeah, that's the thing. You can mention the offense for the Red Hawks. You mentioned obviously the defense and the pitching for Pierz, but the Pioneers average over 5 runs a game, and the Red Hawks hold teams to under 2.5 runs per game. So they, again, in your championship game, you're going to get the best of the best on both ends of the coin.
Yeah, in the 27 games, we've only had 29 errors. So if you know you're going to make 1 error a game, you can make up for that with some hitting. It's when you start to make multiple errors and have multiple walks. We don't walk too many people. I know as a softball coach, I see some of that myself. That's when you can really make some mistakes, when you put people on base, give them free passes.
After a close 3-1 pitch, 3-2 pitch grounded foul.
Yeah, and uncharacteristic for Pierz, we had 5 errors one game in the section tournament, lost 9-1. And fortunate for Pierz to come back through and win, two games in that last day to get us here into the state tournament. So again, defense is what's key. And in one game, that's baseball. We had 1 bad game and it cost us, but unfortunately we were able to come back here.
Sent towards center field. Kapsner has a beat on it, makes the catch, but that's well deep enough to tag and score. And now the Red Hawks have a 2-0 lead. RBI sac fly from Justin Evenson, his 4th run batted in of the tournament.
Yeah, he's really come on big here. I mean, he catches a great game, calls a great game. Especially it was fun to see the other day. We hadn't seen him and his brother as the battery in about 6 weeks. It was fun to see them working together again. But now he's really coming on with his hitting.
Luke Mahler, the DH, try and restart the inning. It began with a single from Alex Jordan and the RBI triple from Johnny Gaw. Base is now clear after the ground out and the sacrifice fly. 2 down.
And Mahler's
in front of the changeup.
Yeah, Mahler's another one of our kids. We have several kids going to University of Minnesota. He's another one of those, and he's wanting to study business at the Carlson School.
0-2 pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 called. So the damage limited to 2 runs after the single triple got the inning started. Rushlow picks up his first strikeout of the game to end the inning, and after 1.5, it's the Red Hawks, the defending champs, with a 2-0 lead going to the bottom half of the second here on Prep45.com. It's the Class 2A championship game, a 2-0 lead for Minnehaha Academy in the bottom of the second. This is a production of Grand Stadium TV in cooperation with BEC-TV, a student-produced broadcast here. On the direction for this game of Ryan Hall, our director, so folks getting a chance to learn a different aspect of broadcasting here. And so far, we've seen the Red Hawks with a 2-run second. A 1-0 pitch is outside to Brett Kapster, the center fielder, in his first at bat.
Again, Kapster's one of those guys that been to the 12 state tournaments. 6 as a wrestler, 4 as football, second one here for baseball. He's only hit 239 this year. I know, again, coming in, he's been injured, got torn labrum, really affecting his swing. Last year, Brett hit 339, but he did come through in a quarterfinal game with some big hits with the 6-2 win over New London Spicer for us, so hopefully Brett can continue that today.
Takes it just off the plate outside. Both of these pitchers getting the outside corner to a certain extent. Saw that on the strike called on the strike 3 for Rocheleau. And now it's Brumley trying to work the outside corner, a 2-2. And that one's down below the knees, ball 3.
Yeah, Brumley has 28 strikeouts in 24 innings in the postseason here, 5 games that he's been in. So he can get some strikeouts, mostly with the breaking ball, but then he'll sneak in that fastball on you.
He was mostly a strikeout per inning pitcher in the regular season as well, as that one's flown foul. Right side now to play. Great fan support as we see at all these. It's everybody's wearing red, but it is Pierz that's off to our right on the first side and Minnehaha Academy on the third base side.
Guess we should have planned and talked to each other before we did that.
Somebody wear black, right?
Pretty hot out to wear black.
That's true.
Beautiful day. So.
3-2's popped foul again.
Good battle in there by Kapsner. You can get a pitch you can drive here now.
Yeah. There's nothing like last year, I will say, being here watching from down there in the fancy seats. It was hot last year, that's for sure. This is a beautiful day for baseball.
We were just talking about that too. We came to a Twins game last year, one game, and could hardly take it down there in the sun. So nice being up here in the booth.
That's for sure.
And a cooler day for mid-June at this point as well to wrap up the Class 2A baseball season. Brumley will kick and fires. That one's grounded on the third base side. It will hook foul, picked up by Tyson. And along at bat to open up the second with a 2-0 score. Kapsner will be followed by Luke Gertz and Brandon Dickman for the Pioneers.
Yeah, Brett does have driven in 17 runs this year. Again, he's been batting in the 5th spot almost all year long, so doing a nice job.
Back-to-back trips for the Pioneers, but their first trip since 1986. Back to the state tournament these 2 years as that one runs too far inside, so the first walk issued by Brumley. Leadoff base runner just like we had in the top half of the inning, and that'll bring up Luke Gertz, a .393 hitter. He's 4 for 6 in the state tournament.
There have been some playoff games this season for the Red Hawks where constantly we were seeing leadoff runner get on, leadoff runner. It creates a lot of anxiety, that's for sure, in fans when that happens.
Exactly.
You just look how Rushlow ended and limited the damage, but it's hard to keep it off the scoreboard when you give up that leadoff base runners. That one's flared first base side, and enough room over there for Goff to make the catch. So 1 down. Maybe some high school fields that's out of play or too far to go, but plenty of room over there, foul territory.
That's what's been great about playing. The section finals was at Northwestern, University of Northwestern. You got a lot of room there. You start to get used to all of this. And
right.
Because I know, where several teams play, you don't get much room on the sides and probably aren't used to having to chase after things like that.
Here's Brandon Dickman, the first baseman, 2 for 4 in the tournament. Takes the first pitch up and in for a ball.
I know he's only hit 192, but again, last year I know on the JV team he hit almost 500. It was 480 something. Just really struggled going up to the JV level here, but again, Coach Sarris had confidence in him, and he did come through in the state tournament, a couple big hits, so hopefully today he can continue that as well. You're talking about these venues as well. I think that's what helps teams like Minnehaha Academy or Pierz just keep the younger guys coming here and seeing that, and year after year you'll be able to see that and be able to, not as much when they do come down here. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that about Coach Glenn. He always expands the roster to as much as he possibly can to get kids a lot of work. And exactly, if you're just here and you watch and you kind of understand what it's like, it's not so awe-inspiring where you get too nervous to play here. And you hope you get to come back the next year.
2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Brumley took a little off.
I think you just got to enjoy, though, every year you do get to play here. This is,
it's just a thrill.
You never know.
I know we get escorted out of town when we do go to a state tournament, and it doesn't get old, that's for sure. I've been on a few for football since I coach football, and I rode down with the players' bus today, and it's just as fun as the first time. So it's pretty cool for these kids.
That's for sure.
You guys got people on retainer to do those escorts now at this point with the number of state tournaments.
Right.
As we've talked about, a run of success for specifically football, wrestling, and now baseball the last 2 years joining that party. Runner goes from first, pitch swung on right side. Runner will have to get back as it looks like a play for Jordan in right. And that'll be 2 down, runner back safely. So Kapsner after the leadoff walk still there, 2 out for Alex Funk.
Yeah, Alex Jordan, another one of their seniors. We have 10 on the team. He'll be heading to UMD next year. Hopes to study business.
Funk will stand in, 0 for 4 in the state tournament. Designated hitter.
Yeah, Alex been playing on and off, been DHing most of the time this year. Doing a pretty good job for Coach Sayre. I know he struggled as of late, so hopefully today he'll come around as well.
Brumley trying to work around a leadoff walk, and he'll do it. That one's scalded, but right to the third baseman, Tyson, who makes the face-high grab to end the inning. Through 2 Redhawks scored 2 in the top half of the second. Pierz scoreless so far as they strand a runner. We'll go to the third inning. 2-0 in this 2A championship game. The Redhawks in the lead. To the top of the third we go. 9, make that, 9-1-2. Both teams looking at the 9-1-2 hitters here in the third. So that's Simon Hike, the center fielder, his first at-bat against Preston Rushlow. First pitch strike at the knees. It's 0-1, and we're underway in the third, a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Simon has good speed. He batted .307 during the year. He's a threat to bunt. He's a threat to steal.
1 for 6 in the tournament. Has scored a run. Watches the 0-1 pitch upstairs. It's 1-1.
I think it was in the semifinal game. Tried to pick him off at first. They threw the ball down to right field and went all the way first to third, and that was a big rally starter for us.
Takes a strike. Ahead in the count is Rushlow.
Yeah, Rushlow had 62 in the third innings on the year. He's got 85 strikeouts, so he's kind of known as a strikeout pitcher here.
1-2. That one on one hop, looping out towards Gertz at second, and that's Lane Gertz with the 4-3 put out. One down, back to the top of the lineup for Noah Daney. As you see Gertz wait on the looper. An easy play over to first base.
Yeah, Daney grounded out to second last time. He really watches the ball well, and so you'll see that sometimes. He'll go to second base, go to right field. He'll use all the fields.
Second time through the lineup now, starting with Daney, and it's a first pitch strike on the outside corner.
As a leadoff batter, he was tied for our team lead in home runs with 2, none bigger than the one he hit in the bottom of the 7th to tie the game up against our playoff game against SPA.
Would win in 10 against St. Paul Academy.
Yeah, that was a nerve-wracking game. Talk about teams that could easily be here.
Yeah.
I think SPA is one of those, and we came out on top, winning that one in 10, but whoever would have won that game, I think, had a really good chance to make it back here to Target Field.
2-1 pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike.
Same with us with Foley, come back and we beat them twice, 3-0 and 4-2. But again, those games could have went either way, and that's the game of baseball. You get one key hit here, one bad error or something, and the other, and it goes the other way. So again.
Yeah, held the Falcons just 2 runs in those final 2 games after they bumped them down to the losers bracket early in Section 6 play. Ball 3 at 3-2.
I think that was tough on St. Paul Academy after we beat them in that kind of a strange way with a wild pitch. That must have been really hard on the team. They ended up not winning in that next game. They lost to New Life Academy, who we then faced in the section finals, but only beat New Life 3-2.
Yeah.
The good thing is we knew that they would have had to beat us twice, so that helps. But
still had a lead in that one late, 3-1.
We did, and
certainly narrowed, but not quite the same dynamic.
No, not exactly, but still, when you have 1-run games, 2-run games, one little mistake by a pitcher, and games could be tied, or you could be behind.
That one's hit well out towards left. One step in, and it's up over the head of Luke Gertz. It's going to roll to the wall on a long run coming up for Noah Daney.
He should be able to get 3. He's got that speed.
Daney in towards third. Throw there just hits him in the backside as he gets in there. A little bit of a fist pump from Coach Glenn in the third base coach's box as they've got a runner 90 feet away on the one-out triple.
Yeah, that's Daney's 3rd triple on the season. It's nice to get there with only 1 out. You can maybe score on a sacrifice fly or deep ground ball, something like that.
And with Gertz out there, the hard line drive right at you, kind kind of froze just for a second, and it cost him with the ball over his head. So good hard hit ball.
And that comes with playing here. The sightline looking in is tough too, with these big stands behind the plate. Ball hit at you anywhere is one of the toughest you'll have to field, and you throw that in, and it's even tougher. Ball one count on Kenny Karatley, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Infield is in now for the Pioneers. That one's hit into the air, and it could get the job done. It is to left, however. Gertz
Shallow enough.
Gonna be close.
walking in, and they will hold the runner. So respecting Gertz's arm, who did put a good relay in on that triple. And they won't try it. Now there's 2 down, and a runner still 90 feet away.
That's one of the only times in recent games that Kenny Karatley hasn't come through with a big hit. He has been really on fire.
2 RBI in the state tournament. It'll be up to Alex Evenson now with 2 outs. He's driven home 4. He's 0 for 1. Ground out to short. The infield can relax just a bit. 2 outs. Minnehaha Academy leading it 2-0. Looking for their 2nd straight state tournament. That one's fouled back to the screen.
I can imagine what it's like when these stands are full of people, and they always put the black background behind
Correct.
the pitcher. But if you're an outfielder and looking out, and there's just stands, I don't know how they are able to
Especially if
track
people
every
wearing
ball.
a lot of white shirts and
Yeah.
stuff.
No
It's gotta
kidding.
be tough.
Waving white towels.
Exactly.
I guess
0-1
good hard
slap
hit
towards
ball.
center. Chance out there in center field, and it's off the glove of Kapsner. A run will score, and that will
He
roll
might get all
towards
the
the
way
wall.
around
Yeah,
here.
he could.
Digging
I
for
wonder-
third, Evenson.
I'm surprised he's looking. I would think he would be trying to go for home, but oh well.
Evenson is pumped up at third. He's got the ball off the glove of Kapsner, and it's a 3-0 lead for the Red Hawks.
A couple of good hard hit balls there. See if Preston can stop it here and keep it a 3-0 ball game.
And they've flashed an error up on the scoreboard. This one's hit high on the left side, foul territory, maybe a chance for Siska, but it's going to get 4 or 5 rows up into the bleacher.
I mentioned St. Paul Academy team before. When they had us during the season, we were losing 5-0 and somehow came back to tie it up in the 7th. And Alex Jordan had a huge game that day. I think he was 4 for 4 or 5 for 5, just would not let us lose.
It's Jordan, who's single in his first at bat, takes a strike. He's down to count 0-2. So 2 in the second, now 1 so far here in the third for the Red Hawks. Reach for, cue towards short. Chance for Tauchis, long, tough throw, didn't get him, run comes home. That's a tough play to make when you're playing back.
That's the key about getting to third base. If you can get to third base, you can score on a lot of different things. Nice play by the shortstop, but really that's just a
Tauchis
hard
came
play.
up in a nice play. I mean, how much you could do is just a slow roller, and he came up hard. And fortunately, he wasn't able to get him at first.
So it'll be a meeting on the mound. Gives us a chance to remind you this is a presentation of Grand Stadium TV here on Prep45.com. Our crew from BEC-TV in Bloomington, led today by Ryan Hall, our director. All students gaining experience with each passing moment in television production, volunteering their time to be here and bring you these pictures, including a replay that shows it still was a very close play, and to get it that close for Tauchis from where he was is saying something about his arm and his range.
He's got a good strong arm. One of our main pitchers all year long, and he led us last year to the state tournament as pitching as well. Again, another good senior that we have. This is a big infield here, and I know he's playing back pretty good. If Coach Sarah will talk to him a little bit, even to come up a few steps up on the dirt a little more, maybe.
This is Johnny Goff, tripled and scored in his first at bat.
Yeah, Goff has a 480 on base percentage during the year. He, for a big kid who you would think maybe would be a free swinger, he actually watches the ball pretty well and can get on base, can get a good number of walks.
It was a 1-out triple that got this inning started as there's a strike called to Goff. Then with 2 outs, the ball off the glove of the center fielder Kapsner brought home the first run, and then an infield single brought that runner home from third. Runner takes off, pitch swung on, grounded towards short. Lost the play at second with the runner moving, but a strong throw over to first and a 6-3 putout ends the inning. Couple of hits, an error, drive home 2, and the lead doubles up to 4 for the Red Hawks. We'll go to the bottom half of the third here on Prep45.com. Bottom of the third inning, Class 2A championship game. Redhawks up 4-0. 9-1 and 2 hitters. John Suska takes a first pitch ball. Lane Gertz is the only hit in this game. He'll be up third.
Yeah, this is Jackson Suska. Again, Jack came in about partial way through the year. Our third baseman, Reese Kapsner, did break his wrist. So Jack stepped in and did a nice job. And I think the thrill for him was he did hit a home run about midway through the year.
Pops this one sky high, headed behind the plate. Evenson over to give it a look. Runs out of room. It's 1-2.
And then Jack made a nice play in that Duluth Marshall game. It's top of the seventh. They loaded the bases with 1 out. And Telgis was able to get a strikeout and then a good hard ground ball to Suska that he was able to just go to the bag and get the Pioneers out of the inning and get them into that bottom of the seventh where Telgis ended up getting the game-winning hit.
1-2. That one's grounded on the infield. Second baseman Karatley has time, goes 4-3 on the putout. Back to Tauch's top of the order. You bring up that game, and I believe it was that game we were talking about. Scoreless at one point late, and it was Tauchis who comes to the plate now, who made the heady play as a pitcher with the rest of the bench, telling the right fielder, or maybe it was the left fielder, to let a foul ball drop.
It was the right
runner
fielder
on third.
1 out, bases loaded. Fly ball to right field line, and the dugout, the coaches were hauling. I think it was Luke Gertz out in right field at the time, and I think he just heard the coaches and he let the ball drop. Tell just able to, because that would have for sure was deep enough to score the run
from third.
And then Tao just next pitch strikes the guy out, just picture perfect, and then the ground ball gets out of the inning. We come in. Went in the bottom of the seventh, so nice job.
That's a heads-up play because you talk about those situations sometimes, but you always wonder, will you remember?
And then kids get in the heat of the moment, they don't remember all that stuff. And Telgis, going to St. Scholastica next year up in Duluth, so I'm pretty excited about that. Him and Lane Gertz are both going up there to play baseball and of course for their schooling. But
strike taken. He's down on the count 1-2. Tauchis 0 for 1 today, 2 for 8 in the state tournament. He flew out to right field in the first.
I was just in Duluth over the weekend, went and visited a little bit, saw the campus, St. Scholastica, and checked out UMD.
1-2.
Nice place to go to school. That would be a fun town to be.
It's a nice area, yes.
Stays at 1-2. Gertz, as we mentioned, he's got the lone hit for the Pioneers, who have had 2 base runners in this game, trailing 4-0. Gertz had the single back in the first.
They've been hitting the ball hard, though. We've been able to be fortunate and get some balls right at us.
And the line out to end the second. That was probably the hardest hit ball for the Pioneers. That was Alex Funk. 2-2. Outside corner, strike 3 called. First strikeout for Brock Brumley.
Yeah, definitely helps having, I believe we have 6 seniors out here right now on the field, all of whom played here last year. So just seeing the sight lines, kind of understanding what it's like, not letting the stadium itself, make them nervous. That helps a lot for sure.
Again, here comes Gertz, bat number 2 for us most of the year. I know last year he hit 5 home runs. This year he is not. I think with that torn labrum, his swing isn't quite there, but pops up here to the first baseman and the bottom of the third. So we'll go to the fourth with Minnehaha Academy leading 4-0.
top of the fourth inning, a 4-0 lead for the Redhawks. It's in the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. It's a first pitch strike to Bennett Tyson, who's 0 for 1 today against Preston Rushlow.
Yeah, Bennett started at Minnehaha in 9th grade. He comes from St. Paul. A good number of our players are from St. Paul, Minneapolis area. He's a 3-sport athlete, plays football, and also a key contributor to the state championship basketball team this past winter.
A 1-1. Grounded just to the shortstop side of the mound. A dive for Tauchis. Up and throwing, a sparkling play. 6-3 put out to get Tyson.
Great play by Matt there. We were just talking how deep he was playing. Well, maybe it was a good thing he was playing that deep. Yeah, nice job. A very athletic individual that he is, and he made a nice play there.
To make the dive and then pop up and make the strong throw. Plenty of time. Justin Evenson, the catcher, had a sacrifice fly to drive in the second run of this game back in the second inning.
Evenson's another senior. Next year he's going to be playing junior hockey, heading to Canada. He's a goalie. So goalie and catcher, they probably fit together very well. We're definitely going to miss him on our hockey team, that's for sure. But he's excited to go give it a shot and see what his hockey career can become.
0-1 flown foul. It's 0-2. Doesn't mind sacrificing his body, in other words. That's what you're telling us.
Not at all.
The only thing with Rushlow here, he does have 59 total pitches, 45 strikes, and only 14 balls. So he is getting the ball over the plate, and I think Minnehaha Academy hitters are coming up there, being aggressive at him. So
a lot of early count foul balls. There's another one's foul back. It's 0-2.
That's one thing you haven't talked about yet is the pitch count. This year that the State High School League has implemented with the, once you get the playoff, the one pitcher can pitch 115 pitches in. And again, you have to take 3 days rest once you get over 75, and I think that affected both Minnehaha and us. Our shortstop, Matt Tauges, pitched on Friday, and unfortunately, he did have that big, long 7th inning that we talked about before. He ended up with 82 pitches. I think if he would have had that such long inning, he would have got through a 7-inning game under 75 and been able to help us out here today. But him and Preston have been 1-1A all year. I know Matt Cummin, our pitcher or our catcher, can pitch a little bit too. So that's something to watch for here with Rushlow getting up to 61 already here in the 5th inning, or 4th inning only.
And then coming through the losers bracket makes it hard too as well. You really have to have an extra pitcher, at least one in there, to be able to make it back through there.
Testing Tauchis again, and he passes with flying colors. A 6-3 put out for out number 2 as he was again deep on that one. Fielded it on the grass, but a strong throw to get
the catcher.
That's
why we're sitting here and the coaches are down
Absolutely,
there.
Absolutely, right? Which was an interesting thing to bring up. For the Pioneers, again, last year didn't make it to the championship game, so all of their games that they played were at Dick Puts in St. Cloud, as you'll see it again. Tauchis with the strong throw. But for Coach Glenn, he's now had 2 years of scouting here and how to play here at Target Field positionally for his defense.
Yeah.
First pitch was a strike taken by Luke Mahler.
And that's even like at Dick Putz. Once we go from, the regular stadiums that we play, we go to Dick Putz. It's pretty much a bigger stadium that we'll make a little to before. It helps being there and just knowing that and coaching, and how to cut off the alleys and so forth. So.
And I'm sure the fence comes into play with the softer, all kinds of the way it might go down the right field line and bounce off that wall there. All those different things you see major league players kind of mess up on. So I'm sure these guys will have similar situations if it comes up.
0-2 off speed, swung on and missed, picked out, and Cummin applies the tag. Second strikeout of the game for Rushlow, and he picks up his second 1-2-3 inning of the game to hold things at 4-0. Redhawks with the lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th on Prep45.com. 4-0, the defending champs. Minnehaha Academy Redhawks leading this Class 2A championship game. The bottom of the 4th. Luke DiNardo from Minnehaha, Dave Rushlow from Pierz, and J.W. Cox with you here as Matt Cummett leads things off. Rushlow and Kapsner to follow. First pitch is a strike from Brock Brumley.
Yeah, Brock's still throwing well. There's 39 pitches only here coming into the 4th inning. 27 strikes.
Has a strikeout, 1 walk, and has allowed 1 single. Cummett, though, sends that one hard out towards the gap in left center. Nobody's going to get it. Drops down for the base hit. He'll turn and hold as Hike cut it off before it could get through the gap.
Yep, Simon's another senior out there, senior center fielder, heading to the University of Minnesota. He wants to study pre-med. He's been at Minnehaha since 9th grade.
Get a pinch runner, courtesy runner actually for the catcher, Matt Cummett. Reese Kapsner will be able to come in. He did come back a couple weeks ago from that injury and had just been courtesy running. And he'll run. He actually scored the winning run in that semifinal game, so he's running for catcher Matt Cummett, who's going to Bemidji State next year to play baseball. So we got a few guys going on as well to play some more college ball.
I like the courtesy runner rule. I know it speeds up the game and it gives the catcher and the pitcher a little bit of a break, but it really produces a lot of strategy. If you have a guy who can run.
Kapsner's on at first, strike delivery.
Pressure again on the defense, you know, if you can get a guy out there with speed.
That's for sure.
You know, bunt, run, you know, especially going first to third, so forth, it definitely helps.
I think it gives an opportunity to a young kid, too, who maybe isn't comfortable enough to go out and pitch or play the infield or something, but gets him some good experience on the field as a runner.
Another hard-hit baseball by the Pioneers. This time it's Rushlow, the pitcher, who slams it off the glove of Karatley for a hard single. Their second hit of the inning, 3rd of the game, and there's 2 on with nobody out.
But Karatley might have gotten that one, but just tipped off his glove.
And Eric Stuckmeyer, courtesy run for the pitcher, Preston Rushlow here. So another guy to get an opportunity in this game to play at Target Field, a senior. Again, he had a shoulder surgery in the winter here, and he just came back a few weeks ago too. So again, credit to all these guys. You know, I know Pioneer's been banged up a little bit this year, but they able to come through and get down here, and then for this senior to be able to step on this field and get to play is a good moment for him.
So Stuckmeyer's on at first, Kapsner on at second, running for Rushlow and Cummett. The battery back of the bench to watch what their mates can do to try and cut into this 4-0 lead as that first pitch is flared foul by Brett Kapsner, who's worked a walk in his only at bat so far.
I was just thinking to see what Coach Sayre would do here. You know, it's bottom of the 4, down by 4. Do you bunt here, just try to get a couple more, or do you just keep playing for the big inning? It looks like you let Kapsner swing away, going to play for the big inning here.
Still outs to work with after this as there's a swing and a miss. String pulled, though, nicely by Brumley. He's ahead in the count 0-2.
Good off-speed pitch there by Brumley. Brock lives in Eagan, been at Minnehaha since he was in 1st grade.
Stares at second. One's grounded. That'll get through. Could score a run. They're going to hold the runner. Station to station they go. 3 straight singles. Tying run will come to the plate for the Pioneers here in the bottom of the 4th. No need to chance it with nobody out. Luke Gertz coming to the plate, and a talk on the mound for the Redhawks, who've been in control of this game, out hitting the Pioneers 4-1 coming in. But 3 straight singles now from Pierz have them knocking on the door.
Yeah, we said Pierz was hitting the ball hard, and they were just hitting right at us, and now they found a few gaps.
Something I wanted to talk to both of you guys about, the continuity of the head coach position for both your guys' schools. We'll start over here, Dave, with you were the head coach for baseball for a number of years, for 11 years. Coach Sayre takes over for you in his 7th season, and you were saying just 3 all-time head coaches in the program's
before that
history?
is John Helly, who was a longtime coach. He's in the Baseball Hall of Fame, 29 years. I mean, I don't know how many 19 section conference titles. You know, he's got the 1 state tournament back in '86. And again, this year they just named the field in Pierz after him, Coach Helly. So 3 coaches in school history, and yeah, we're all down. I think Mr. Helly's down here as well, so we're all down here today, so it's kind of cool.
Nice.
And as Luke Gertz stands in, it's been 50 years of a Glenn head coaching at Minnehaha. That one slapped out towards center, but it will hang up long enough for the shortstop, Daney, to make the play and freeze the runners.
Yeah, Dave Glenn started as head coach in 1968. And then his son Scott, who played at Minnehaha for him, he took over as an assistant in 2002 and then as the head coach in 2009. And has had a lot of success early in a quick amount of time. I think he has about 180 wins in these 9 seasons.
Pierz fans off the first base side now with one out and the base is still loaded. Cheering for Brandon Dickman, who's 0 for 1, the first baseman. Runners everywhere. Watches that one high and in. Got the courtesy runners in Kapsner and Stuckmeyer at third and second, and Brett Kapsner.
I think that continuity really matters with kids. They know what to expect. You know, kids, older kids talk to younger kids who talk to their brothers, and it just becomes part of the culture of baseball. This is what baseball's about, or softball, or whatever sport you're talking about. And we've been blessed that at our school, a lot of coaches hanging around for a long time and being able to keep that continuity and keep that tradition
Just
up.
know the style. The kids know the style of the coach and what they expect and how to play for it, so it definitely becomes better over time.
Yeah.
A 1-1.
And it whether you're a stern, hard-nosed or coach, or you're easygoing or whatever, I think it's just when the kids know what to expect. I think that's what makes the difference.
That's the key.
It's paid off for these two teams. A couple of 20-win seasons and back-to-back trips to the state tournament for both. As that one's grounded hard towards third, shortstop with a backhand. Daney throws to second, not in time, and it's a 4-1 game. Infield single for the first baseman, Brandon Dickman. He drives in his third run of the state tournament. The bases remain loaded for the Pioneers, who are still on the board.
Perfectly placed ground ball. Nothing that either our fielders could have done there.
And again, Dickman coming through here in the state tournament, having a nice state tournament for Pierz.
It's now the tying run in the person of Dickman. On at first, as in comes Kapsner, the pinch runner. Stuckmeyer runs over to third, and the other Kapsner, Brett, is out at second.
And they are brothers. Reese and Brett are famous with Luke and Lane Gertz are brothers as well, both players here on the team.
And Alex Funk, the DH.
Looks like Minnehaha's second and shortstop are playing for the double play and in on the corners to get the guy at home.
Tying run at first, a 4-1 game with one down here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Pitch low and away. It's 1-1. The Funks also brothers?
No, they're cousins.
They're cousins, all right.
So along
cousin.
with Jack Siska is a cousin to Alex Funk and Thomas Funk.
Okay.
And they're all cousins. Grandpa was Elvin Funk, longtime coach for the Buckman Billy Goats amateur team that has won the state tournament.
Ground ball hard to third, step on the bag for one, throw across to first for the double play to end the inning. Couldn't have hit it anywhere else.
Taylor made, yeah.
Served up.
And Tyson backhands, steps on the bag, and throws to Goff. But one run does come home to narrow the margin to 3, and we'll go to the 5th. This 2A championship game, 4-1. Redhawks with the lead on Prep45.com. Pioneers get on the board in the bottom half of the fourth inning. We roll to the 5th, a 4-1 lead for the Redhawks at Minnehaha Academy here in the Class 2A championship game. Simon Hike to lead things off. Then back to the top of the lineup for Daney and Karatley.
Yep, grounded out to second baseman last time. Let's see if Simon can get something started here. 9-1-2.
Again, we were just talking at the break here of the beauty of baseball. That's one sport, where the underdog can win the game. If you get a real good football team, a real good basketball team, chances are you're playing a team if they're more talented, they're going to win. But in baseball, it's a sport that you can get a couple key hits, an error here or there, and you can win the game. So I think that's one beauty of the game of baseball.
I was sitting here a year ago calling the 3A championship with Henry Sibley, who had won 4 games going into their section tournament, and then came back and won the whole thing, going on a great run through section play in the state tournament.
Yeah, I remember talking to a former Minnehaha science teacher, Ron Munson, who is the principal at Henry Sibley, and asked him about that. And he said you get on a little bit of a run, nobody expects you to be there, so they don't throw their number 1 pitcher against you, and then that just keeps on building and building and building. And hey, boy, if you can play with confidence, they took it all the way to a state title.
As that one goes low on the 3-1, you saw Bennett Tyson starting to warm up in the bullpen for the Red Hawks.
Tyson has come in the last for several games here in the playoffs to finish off either an inning or 2. He pitched 1 out the other day when Alex Evenson used up all his pitches.
Hike works a walk, so the top of the lineup for Daney, trying to get that run back, leading 4-1.
So there you go again. Now the leadoff walk, walk the number 9 guy, get to the top of the order, see if Preston can come back here. Uncharacteristic walk for him. And he has 20 balls on the day, 52 strikes for a total of 72 pitches. So let's see if he can get back on track here.
It's his only walk to go with 2 strikeouts. Evens the count at 1-1.
We were talking about the pitch counts. I believe it was the Warroad game when Bennett Tyson came in to pitch, and we wanted to, I'm sure Coach Glenn wanted to have him ready for the next day as well to come in and pitch an inning, and he was driving up his pitch count a little bit. I think he got into the high 20s before he reached that 30 pitch count where you couldn't pitch the next day.
Right, and just for the fans that don't know about pitch count, if you go over 30, then you got to have a day's rest. If you're under 30, you can come back the next day. And I believe it's from 30 to 75, you have to have 2 days rest.
Runner on at first with nobody out here in the 5th. Quick check over. Yeah, that first round game against Warroad, Brock Brumley went 5 2/3 for the Red Hawks. 3 earned runs of the 5 he allowed, but the bats put up 10 for him. Pitch down low. It's 2-1 now.
Yeah, our bats came alive then. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Those championship games still coming up. 3A, Waconia and Hibbing, and 4A, Eden Prairie and Forest Lake. Each game featuring an unranked, unseeded team in the state tournament. So that tells you, again, teams maybe not expected to make a run can do that. Full count.
That's what's great about baseball. Sometimes you don't even hit the ball hard and you get base hits. And sometimes you hit the ball and you crush it and you just make outs. So you never know.
Time called. Runner Hike was bouncing back towards first when he's held on by Dickman. Tauchus and Gertz tied her up the middle, perhaps trying to turn a double play if they get the chance. 3-2 grounded foul.
I hear people talking about diminishing popularity of baseball. I mean, I just don't see it. We have so many people playing. I mean, I know there are a lot of things that take our attention, on our phones or on Netflix or whatever, so I don't know if viewership is down with Major League Parks, but I just still see baseball as being a popular game.
On this level, and I mentioned last year called the 3A, I was happy to call the 2A this year. Obviously, Minnehaha Academy here in the Twin Cities, but Dave, where you guys are in Pierz and in central Minnesota, baseball at so many levels at the amateur level is so strong.
We were just talking on the way down how Minnesota is the number 1 state in the nation as far as amateur ball teams, with over 350. So
nice.
So back-to-back walks. The runner was going. It was ball 4, so it'll be 2 walks to put 2 on.
Preston's starting to get a little tired here. Now that pitch was way behind the batter. I don't know if Coach Sarah will come out and talk to him here, but again, back-to-back walks, uncharacteristic of him. We'll have to see if, again, I know Cummett, the catcher, probably doesn't have a chance to warm up in the bullpen. Would be the next guy you'd go to.
Tauchus, as we mentioned, won't be available today. The shortstop, though, has made some fine plays defensively. So nobody out, 2 on, 4-1 is the score, and here comes Karatley, who's been big in the postseason. 0 for 2 today, however, for the second baseman. They turn to have the runner picked off at second. Now get him in a rundown. Head him back. There'll be 2 runners at that bag. Tag is applied by Suska. And so the lead runner, Hike, took off. He was picked off. Smart play by Daney to get in there behind him and not give up the 2 bases. Still a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Yeah, good for Daney right there, because you have to just assume that Hike is going to be out. And so worst case scenario is you want to have a runner on second.
Yeah, and a good job just stay in the hot box, get that guy to second.
I believe that went 1-4-5. The initial catch from the pitcher, Rushlow, went to the second baseman, Gertz. Swing and a miss. A little confidence there as he popped the mitt with a fastball and got the swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Kenny Carotley is seniors heading to Northwestern University in Evanston next year. Going to study engineering. Really smart kid. He's one of our academic All-State.
I was going to say, smarter than all of us then. Maybe put together another pickoff throw.
He was one of our editors-in-chief for journalism.
Okay.
Just a really bright kid, really nice. And he's had a wonderful state tournament here.
You could do that at Northwestern, too. Wants to dabble in one of the best journalism programs in the country.
That's for sure.
Towns is still hopping in behind the runner at second, staying in the back of his mind as it's fouled back. It's 0-2. Got to play that game at second base, especially if you already picked somebody on.
I think just trying to hold that guy too on a base hit, trying to give that outfielder a chance if there's a base hit to try to keep him from that big secondary lead.
Daney at second with one out. Pop foul again. Should get out of play. Dickman gives it a look, and it's well out of play. First base side.
A lot of room on the right side. First baseman's really deep. The worst case scenario, ground ball over there should move the runner up.
Again, I think you heard me before. It's tough going to the booth after you've been cheering for him all year to be neutral and not give it a little cheer here and there.
Right? Exactly. I think in this situation, we forgive both of you. We know,
That's right.
We know what's happening. That one's popped up left side. Chance for Township to get an out and hold the runner. Shortstop camps and makes the catch, and a sky-high pop for out number 2.
And you can't say what you want to say when things like that don't go your way either. That's what's kind of fun about just sitting in the stands. You can let the umpire know quietly exactly how you feel, and usually they can't hear you.
So it is 2 outs, and they will intentionally walk Alex Evenson.
I wonder how Alex Jordan will feel about that. Maybe he'll go and take care of business here, get a nice big hit. But smart play to put Evenson on. Evenson batting, in the high 400s.
Let's get out of the inning here. So
set up that force after the leadoff walks, back-to-back walks, then picked off a runner and got the pop out. Rushlow trying to get through the 5th and leave it 4-1 after his team just got on the board in the bottom half of the 4th. Missed with the ball. It's 1-0. Jordan's 2 for 2. Singled and scored a run.
Good speed at second base by Daney. He should be able to score on a base hit to the outfield.
Ground ball instead. It's right to Dickman, and he'll go to the bag himself. A 4-3 putout. So in spite of 2 unintentional walks and 1 intentional in the inning, Rushlow works around it. Another 0 put up. Back-to-back scoreless innings for Rushlow and the Pioneers, and they'll trail it 4-1 to the bottom of the 5th here on Prep45.com. Into the bottom half of the 5th inning. Brock Brumley still dealing for the Redhawks of Minnehaha Academy. Jack Suska, 9 1-2 hitters. Tauchis and then Gertz.
Let's see if Brumley can come back with a good inning here after getting in a little bit of trouble last inning.
Delivers a strike on the 1-0. It's 1-1. The bases were loaded with nobody out. Swung on. Fouled third base side. This is a 1-2 count on Suska. Leading things off here in the bottom half of the fifth. Swings, reach for that, grounded towards short. Tough play for Daney, and it skips under his glove. Leadoff base runner again for the Pioneers.
Yeah, I think he knew he had a fast runner there at the plate. Definitely had to try to pick that one up quickly, but no luck.
And they do give him the hard luck E6 there as he was trying to rush things. So both teams with an error in the game.
Another leadoff batter.
It'll be the third time coming through here now for the Pioneers, and with the top of the order, Rattel just up.
Yeah, shortstop Daney, he's out of St. Paul, came to Minnehaha as a 9th grader, plays a lot of baseball in the summer. He also plays basketball, but he's does play on one of those traveling teams that kind of trains year round. It shows. He came in last year as a 9th grader with a lot of experience and started most of the season.
Down just fouls the first offering away. It's 0-1. 0 for 2 on the day. Takes a ball outside.
I mentioned Tao just made the Lions All-Star game as well. We'll be playing with Lane on that. Coming up next weekend, I believe it is. Was all-conference basketball player as well, Matt Tao. Just a very good athlete.
And they'll be joined by Alex Evenson, Minnehaha Academy. He's playing in the Lions All-Star game also.
Outside, it's 2-1. Tying run is in the on-deck circle. It was a 2-run second, a 2-run third for the Red Hawks to take a 4-0 lead. Pioneers broke out the bats. 4 hits in the fourth to get on the board, make it 4-1. Just off the plate outside. Ball 3-1.
Yeah, Minnehaha can score in bunches. They've done that, especially here in the state playoffs. I think they really feed off of each other, and the guys can start to sense when things are going well and can really try to make things happen.
That one's outside, ball 4, so the first 2 runners reach. Error and a walk.
Well, I know that Bennett Tyson was warming up in the bullpen in between innings there, so he's loose and ready to go when needed. And he pitched a little bit on Thursday and Friday, but definitely well rested enough to be able to come in here and pitch a couple innings if needed.
And we'll see what Gertz can do here. I'm sure Coach Sayre's going to let him swing away, and top hitter the last few years for the Pioneers. See if he can hit a gap for us and maybe get a couple more runs home and tighten this game up.
Yeah, if Tyson does come in, it's been a good 1-2 punch with Brumley, who throws more breaking balls and off-speed things, and then Bennett can throw hard. He throws in the mid-80s. He can hit those corners, and it's tough to hit, especially when you've been hitting off of Brumley, who doesn't throw as hard.
Such a fun dynamic that you can get into in high school baseball if you have those 2 guys that can bring those opposing approaches. Gertz fouled the first one. Looked like it went off his foot. Lane is 1 for 2 today.
I'm sure Brock doesn't want to come out. I'm sure he's going to do everything he can to fight through this and these early runners here in this inning.
Looking for a 2nd straight state championship for the Red Hawks. Pierz trying to find their first state baseball title. Do it in comeback fashion as that one's hit well out towards the gap in left center field. Hike will try to cut it off, and he will. They're going to spin the runner around third this time. Incoming is Suska, and he will get there standing up. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, and it's a 2-run ball game.
And a nice job by Lane getting the hit there, but nicer yet was him following up on the throw, getting into second base on that single with the throw going to the plate.
So an RBI single, and Hike cuts it off. His throw, though, cut off coming into the middle of the diamond, so easy to score once he was sent around third for Siska.
Yeah, Coach Glenn is making that switch. He's going to bring Bennett Tyson in to pitch. He's coming in from third base, and Brumley will switch gloves and get his third baseman's glove, and he'll go out and play there.
So they'll make the change as 2 runs are allowed by Brumley. And the runner that came home reached on the error, so one of the 2 should be unearned, and Tyson will get some warm-up tosses We'll stay here with it as the Red Hawks at 25-2, looking for win number 26. Pierz 26-2. New London, Spicer, Duluth, Marshall in the first 2 rounds for the Pioneers. War Road and Maple Lake in the first 2 rounds for the Red Hawks. And as we have a little bit of time here, talk to you guys both about, obviously both well versed in kind of the history of these programs. Mike, we'll start with you. Knowing that you've had that stability in the head coaching position and now it's paying off in these state tournament runs, the feeling around the baseball program has to be sky high at this point, just around campus and everybody knowing that that's a bit of an identity you guys can cling to.
Yeah, people are excited. We've had a good number. For a school our size, we don't always have 3 teams at the high school level, but we did, 9th in a JV, varsity, and then you have a couple teams at middle school level, so we have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders playing and getting a lot of work in. And then these guys who love baseball especially, we have some kids who just want to play and they just play for our school and they have a wonderful time doing that, but then there are a lot of guys who take it very seriously and they're playing on their travel teams in the summer, working out in the off season, getting ready. I mean, these guys would work out with dads and stuff like that kind of on Sunday nights. They'd get together and they'd be doing some hitting and doing some pitching work all through the winter. So it all pays off. The plan is you hope you can be able to get here.
Right, exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head there with the dads coming in. I think that's one of the biggest thing in Pierz is the community support. Again, the parents, just chipping in. Their younger kids are traveling teams, and we got a little in-house league and stuff in the county and stuff that we do, and just all that support goes a long way in making a successful team.
Yeah, it's great. My son's down there, number 16 on the bench. It's fun to see him be able to come up and sit through this playoff run and learn a lot. It's nothing prouder than to see one of your kids doing that, or it's knowing all these guys, being able to work at the school, know them well, and you just feel so proud for them and other teams as well, the other athletes who see a lot of success.
Swing at a 2-0 pitch for Cummett. He flares it out into left. A decision here as Evenson makes the catch. He's one of the arms that they use for Minnehaha Academy, and he fires it into the cutoff man, so the runners hold and take a 2-out base hit to try and tie this game here at 4-2.
It's good to get that pop-up. Shallow pop-up right there is what we needed, either that or a strikeout, ground ball.
Right, and Cummett's been the man for us. It's a very big out for him to come in and be able to get Cummett out there. So, again, go to the number 4 hitter, Preston Rushlow here. Again, a good gap hitter. Let's see if he can drive a gap in and maybe tie this game up.
Tyson on the hill, 43 1/3 innings, a 2.10 ERA in the regular season. Delivers a first pitch strike. That's the first strike he's thrown in this appearance as he went 2-0 on the 3-hitter Cummett. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Tauchus down the line at 3rd. Gertz out at 2nd after his RBI single. Ball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Evenson.
I think one thing about Tyson in this situation right here is not to try to do too much. To just come on in. You do have a couple innings that you're going to hopefully throw here. You don't need to overthrow, just kind of hit your spots, throw your strikes. We know he could throw hard, but the one thing he can get, he sure has fun out there, but he can get a little excited.
Right, I think that's what your catcher went out to do, and to say, don't overthrow here, let's need strikes. Let's see if Preston can put the bat on the ball and find a hole.
1-1, curveball in there for a strike. It's 1-2.
Bennett Tyson being, he played in the same baseball league that my son did in St. Paul and Highland, and being a year older, we'd get to watch him. He put a lot of fear into people. I know, a year older, big kid, especially at a younger age, and was throwing the ball hard.
Just missed on the outside part of the plate. A 2-2. Tying run is out at 2nd base here in the 5th. 2A championship game. The 2-2 looped and fouled down the first base line. Might have hit right in front of the plate and hopped up. 46 strikeouts in 43 1/3 innings pitched in the regular season for Tyson.
Yeah, and then he's pitched about 13 innings here in the postseason, 20 strikeouts in those 13, so he's really come on well.
A 2-2 off the plate outside. Evenson trying to frame it just a bit, the catcher.
And Rushlow does have a good eye, working that count. So we're up to 3-2 here, so he's looking for a ball 4 or maybe a base hit here.
Kapsner wants a chance. He's on deck. The 3-2 off the plate outside. Kapsner will get a chance with the go-ahead run now on base at first.
Well, it sets up the force in the double play. Last time in this situation, we had that hard ground ball to 3rd to get the double play, 5-3. See if we get the same kind of thing happening here.
And that might have been unintentional. I mean, they got 2 strikes on them, but boy, them last 2 pitches were kind of out there. I think they were just trying to make him hit a bad pitch, and if not, we'll walk him, you know, to get that force out.
Nothing too good to hit.
Right.
You get the call, great. If not, they didn't. So here's Kapsner. Walked and singled so far today. First pitch, started to check, took a strike. It's 0-1. Quickly, Tyson gets the ball and strides back up to the top of the mound.
Yeah, it looks like first and third are playing in, and the middle infield in double play depth.
2-run game. Strike two, coming right at him with the fastball. It's 0-2.
Yeah, Bennett likes to hit that outside corner when he can. That's a tough pitch to hit if you can throw that low and outside fastball.
That's at any level.
And anybody, exactly.
Any level. Keep putting it there.
The physics don't go in your favor as a hitter if the ball's out there. Minnehaha Academy, the number 2 team in the top 10 to end the year. The 1 seed in the tournament out to a 4-0 lead. The 3 seed in this tournament, the Pioneers, have cut it down to 2, and they've got runners all over the place. Strike 3 call to the outside corner. Big out number 2.
Yeah, you see that coming as a batter. It's hard to pull the trigger when you see that outside pitch. You're hoping it's a ball, but
yep, and Kapsner just went down there. You know, when you got the bases loaded, you like to see him put the bat on the ball, and at least put the ball in play. And unfortunately, you know, Minnehaha got the big strikeout there. And let's see if Luke Gertz can do. Luke got the big hit against Foley. We're down 2-1. Got a big triple to make it 3-2, a 2-run triple, and we can do it again here.
First pitch, fastball low and away. It's 1-0. Gertz today 0 for 2. He's popped out to short, popped out to first. He's driven in a run in the state tournament. He's gone 4 for 8. Right-handed hitter waiting. Swing and a miss. He was out in front, took a little off. It's 1-1.
Yeah, our catcher Justin Evenson, being a senior, he does call the game. Our coaches don't call it. It's wonderful to see when the kid can really know what to do and be in there and block so many things behind the plate.
You know, he's done a masterful job of the last 3 hitters, as we mentioned, staying away from Rushlow, even though they got 2 strikes, not wanting to give in. Great at bat to Kapsner, forced the strikeout there. Mixing in the off speed here in a third at bat to Luke Gertz. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball could be through the hole. It is through the hole. 1 run home, second run coming around. Gertz headed for the plate, and he will score, standing up to tie the game.
Oh, another big hit for Luke Gertz. Again, sophomore, just came on throughout the year, and like you said, he's batting .393. Big hit in the section championship game to get us into the state tournament. Now a big hit here to tie the game up.
He did a nice job.
RBI in the state tournament now. He drives in 2 to tie the game.
Yep, nice job hitting that outside pitch. Just put it through the hole.
Does a good job of going with it, not trying to do too much, and that's a key for a young hitter. Don't try to pull it, go with it.
He'd been paying attention the last few at bats, living on the outside corner. That's where Tyson had been going. He gets a strike called out there now on Brandon Dickman, who drove in the last run of this game with a single back in the 4th. So we'll start again at 4-0 here in the 5th. 4-4, excuse me, as it was from 4-0 to now tied at 4. Off the plate outside, 1-1.
Yeah, Pierz was hitting the ball too well early on. You knew they weren't going to, stay quiet forever.
Check swing, keeping the dugout on their toes. It's 1-2.
You know, we talked about Minnehaha Academy coming back throughout the sections. You know, Pierz, and again, that's a sign of a championship team, both for Minnehaha Academy and Pierz. No matter the situation, these kids just keep playing ball and keep playing it hard and see what happens.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a second strikeout in the relief appearance for Tyson. Ends the inning, but not before the big 2-run single from Luke Gertz. And the Pioneers fans on their feet to end the 5th, as we've got 2 more innings to go in regulation, and we start again at 4 here in the Class 2A championship game on Prep45.com.
All right, here we go.
Top of the 6th inning. We'll do it again. That's 4-all. And it looked like there was some warming up going out in the outfield, and that's stop play. I'm not sure.
I don't think it's a fan. It looks like a
No, yeah, it looks like maybe
bullpen
the
coach
next
or
game.
something. Yeah.
Looks, yeah.
And
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're having a staring contest
Yeah.
between the home plate umpire and the folks out in center. I know it's a long way out there, but I still, you can't, this isn't a Major League spring training game. You can't
Right.
be running around on the
Is that who it is? Maybe
track.
some,
it might, that's just conjecture that it's somebody for the next game trying to get warmed up. The
Maybe
3-8 game.
Maybe they're not allowed in the bullpen. I wonder.
I would think they might be allowed in the bullpen, but not on the field.
Not on the field.
So nobody
All right.
in the bullpen.
Got it. Well,
So Laconia and Hibbing. And so put them back. And they'll have to find a different way to warm up. Tournament folks will no doubt help them out on that, and we'll get our
Right.
6th inning underway.
Again, Rushville comes out for the 6th inning, 84 pitches here. Again, got through the 5th, 4th and the 5th. Let's see if we can continue it into the 6th.
And one pitch, he's got a chance to get it out. His catcher Cummett throws the mask near the on-deck circle, makes the catch.
Nice job. One of the toughest plays in baseball there is that high pop-up for the catcher to catch, and Cummett did a nice job of throwing the mask out of the way and making the play, get the first out.
Well, you know, Dave, that it's a huge inning right here for the defense for Pierz and Rushville. You come back, you score those 3 runs, you
Right.
have to get a shutdown inning.
That's what you want. I mean, come and get that first out and you get things rolling. You get the big inning and come and shut them down right away so we can see what Preston does here. Comes back with another nice curveball for a strike. It looks like he's wheeling and dealing. Hopefully he can keep it rolling.
This has Bennett Tyson 0 for 2 today. A couple of ground outs to short. He's been robbed by fine shortstop play from Tauchis. Who
now that he's pitching, let's see if he can help himself get on base here and make something happen. He has home run power if he could get a hold of one.
0-2 pitch. Skips in the dirt, and that's just the 4th pitch of the inning. It was blocked there, trying to waste one, get him to chase.
Bennett does look at a lot of pitches. To my dismay, watching him, I mean, he's such a good hitter. I would love to
Right.
see him be a little more free swinging, but at the same time, being able to see them and watch those pitches, it sure pays off in the end.
It's a balancing act. A 1-2, grounded towards the middle. Slow roller. Suska up with it. Quick throw, sidearm in time.
Nice play by Jack. Come across. Again, that had to be his play. There's no way that the shortstop would have made that play. Jack did a nice job coming across, and again, I think even quicker with the hands to get rid of it right away to get him by a step at first.
And we were talking about the pitch counts, and your pitcher was up at 84, and he's only at 89 right now, 2 outs in. That's key for him to be able to stay, especially if this game goes to
7th. Correct. Yep.
Yeah, go to the 7th and maybe an extra innings.
Extra innings, yeah, definitely with the 4-4 score here, you never know.
Yeah.
Here's Justin Evenson. RBI sac fly in his first at-bat. Takes a first pitch strike. He's grounded out since, so 0 for 1 on the day.
As umpires given those outside strikes, that's for sure. They're on that corner or maybe just slightly off, so the kids have to make adjustments.
Strike taken.
I like
it's
that
0-2.
swing the bats. I hate that when the umpire has they call it the tune in the can for a strike zone.
Yeah.
Get that corner, give that pitcher both ways, as long as you're doing it both ways,
Yep.
and then get the kid swinging the bat.
It's been great umpiring, very consistent.
Yep.
0-2 started to check. They want to see, did he swing? There's an appeal. He did. Strike 3. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Very efficient on the pitch count for Rushlow, and the Pioneers are fired up. All the momentum in the first base dugout for Pierz. We're tied at 4 to the bottom of the 6th here on Prep45.com. Last 4 runs in this game, all scored by the Pierz Pioneers. They were down 4-0, picked up 1 in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. Now they're back at it for a shutdown inning in the top half of the 6th from their starting pitcher, Preston Rocheleau. It'll be Alex Funk, Jack Suska, and Matt Tauchis scheduled in the 8, 9, and leadoff spots. All against Bennett Tyson.
Big inning here for Tyson. You want to definitely shut these guys down. Don't let up any runs here going into the 7th. Pierz definitely has the momentum, though.
Right, and just looking to get that 1 run, they send it to the 7th and get the 3 outs in the 7th. So I'm sure whoever, if it gets on with nobody out here, Sarah will definitely be bunting with the number 9 hitter, Suska.
Trying to play for that single go-ahead run. Check swing, took a strike, and it's 1-1.
Tyson should be settled in for sure after having that 1 inning now. A little more comfortable.
Couple of strikeouts, misses just off the plate. It's 1-1. 2-1, excuse me. Works quickly with that left leg kick. Misses outside, 3-1. 4 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Pioneers. They've left 6. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Redhawks. They've left 3 on base. Strike taken on the 3-1, take it all the way. It's 3-2.
Yeah, the Redhawks haven't had many hits recently. I'd say they've gone 0-0-0 the last 3.
3-2, strike 3 called at the knees. Third punch out of the appearance for Tyson.
Get that second strike on you, Alex. I like to see him swinging the bat there. Anything close, you got to be swinging to put the ball in play. So now we got 1 out going to Jack Suska, the number 9 hitter.
Good job mixing it up there by Tyson, moving the ball inside after he had thrown so many outside. Good call there by the catcher, Evenson.
Suska reached on an error in the 5th that started things off. Ball snuck under the glove of Daney at short. Here it's a breaking ball for his strike in the outside corner away from the left-handed swinger. Upstairs for a ball 1. It's 1-1.
I think one of the biggest at-bats probably in Jack's life was in the semifinal game when we got Brandon Dickman got hit by a pitch, and then pinch runner Reese Kapsner still second with 2 outs, and Jack was able to work a walk to bring Tauchis up to get that walk-off hit. So again, just a credit to Jack for working the count. He fought off a couple pitches and able to get that ball forward, got on base, brought Tauchis up to the plate, who rammed that solid single to right field to score Reese Kapsner the winning run in the semifinal game.
1-2 here, just a piece to foul it back to the screen. Tauchis, leadoff hitter, is on deck.
Playing a deep second base, Karatli on the grass.
High fastball got him to chase, and he strikes out his 2nd of the inning, 4th of the game for Tyson, trying to slam the door and put it back in his dugout.
That's tough when you throw that high fastball by your eyes. It's tough sometimes for the batter to lay off.
It's tough to lay off and tough to get up there and get it. So that's like Brian Dozier. I watch him hit, at the major league level, to be able to hit that high fastball. He just loves that thing, and he gets up there and hits it. That's tough to do.
Yeah, his forearms are so strong. He's so fast to be able to get it up there.
First pitch strike to Tauchis. Impressed with Tyson in this inning, just attacking these Pierz hitters coming in with strikes.
And it's amazing to see somebody like Dozier, and some of these guys who can generate a lot of power. They're not big guys, they're not big bruisers, but they just have great speed in their hands, great hand-eye coordination.
Great bat speed, yeah.
All about the bat speed. Pitch missed inside, it's 1-1. Kicking the fire, this one grounded past the third baseman, Brumley. It was playing even with the bag. Not a lot of chance at that one. Hit hard out in the left.
Nice job by Tauchis. Nice piece of hitting going with the pitch again and getting it to left field. Now with 2 outs, I would expect Coach Sayre here to have him stealing to try to get him in scoring position. If he does get thrown out, you still got the number 2 guy leading off the bottom of the 7th. So let's see when Sayre's going to do that, if he's going to do it early, if he's going to do it at all, I guess. Tauchis is a fast runner.
Had an RBI single back in the 5th. 2 for 3 on the day in this championship game. Runner holds, pitches up and away. It's 1-0.
Do you get the sense that your runners have the green light to go on their own, or is this probably in this situation the coach would be the one calling it?
I think Coach do it. Throughout the year, I think Tauchis has got the green light, but I think in this situation, Coach Sayre says, well, let me call it here, and we'll let you know what's going on. He does take over that. I know you were talking about pitches before. Our catcher calls the pitches too, but every once in a while the coaches will call pitches as well. So.
Yep. 1-1, swung on a miss, ball gets away, and that'll move the runner up to second base. Heads up base running on the secondary lead from Tauchis. It is strike 2 on the wild pitch, swing and a miss. So that could be your go-ahead run out there at second base.
Yeah, the outfielder's going to have to charge hard any base hit, because I'm sure they're going to send this guy from second base.
2 strike count, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Foul back, just a piece for Gertz. And coming on deck, he's still wearing those shin guards as the catcher. Love to shuck those and get a chance to hit here. Spin and just a look back to second base.
Smart play, just to keep him close. You want to make sure that if it is a base hit, that
We talked before, yep, just try to keep that guy close to give the outfielder a chance here.
1-2. Swing and a miss.
Nice
Got him upstairs again. 3rd strikeout of the inning. 5 strikeouts in the relief appearance for Bennett Tyson, and he keeps it 4-4. Little momentum pulled back for the Red Hawks as we go to the 7th, trying to decide a 2A champion here on Prep45.com. The Red Hawks, it's Luke Mahler, who was scheduled. But a pinch hitter coming in for the Red Hawks, and it's James Wong who takes a first pitch strike. So Wong batting in Mahler's spot. He'd gone 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Second pitch swung on a miss as the sun breaks free for one of the few times today.
We'll see if that's going to come into play here now. You know, with the not being down here with the sun coming out, it's been out overcast all game.
0-2 pitch. Rochlow, 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yeah, James Wong only played in 12 games during the season. Unfortunately, he sustained an injury that kept him out a lot. Disappointing, but it's good to see him in here right now. Hopefully he'll get a chance to get up again if this game goes into extra innings.
Simon Hike now. Grounds it off the base at first. That'll be a fair ball. Hike turns. The ball gets past Funk in right field, and that'll turn into 2 bases.
Wow, you don't see that very often. Hit right off the base, making a fair ball, and then
Getting by the right fielder was bigger than off the base, I think.
Yeah.
The guy that's in scoring position.
yeah, it looked like maybe he was trying to make a play, took his eye off it for a second, and just squeezed by him.
That'll be a second error of the game for the Pioneers to allow the runner to advance into scoring position.
I mentioned extra innings, but it would be nice to not go there. If we can just score a run here and shut them down, that would be nice.
Red Hawks had a 4-0 lead. Last 4 runs have been scored by the Pioneers. Rushlow delivers a strike. Leadoff hitter Noah Daney tripled and scored a run in a 2-run 3rd inning.
Yeah, Daney generates a lot of power. He's had a couple home runs over the season.
Strike on the outside corner. Watch that changeup a long time. Could never fire the hands. It's 0-2. Kenny Karatley on deck. Go ahead run at second base. 0-2 pitch. Outside for ball 22. That hit, by the way, for Hike. First base hit for the Red Hawks since the 3rd inning. They'd had 3 base runners on via the walk. They all came in the 5th.
Yeah, Simon Hike scored 17 runs during the year. Good speed here. You expect on a base hit to the outfield that he'll be coming around to score.
A 1-2 pitch. Pop foul. Get all the way out of play. Stays right at 1-2. Pioneers out hitting the Red Hawks 8-5 in this game. They just had one hit into the 4th inning, however. Number 3 seed in this tournament out of Section 6. They'll have the last hacks no matter what happens here. 1-2 towards the middle, into center field, a base hit. The runner, Hike, had to hold at second. He will go to the plate. Relay throw will not be made. Dive and a score, and the Red Hawks lead once more, 5-4.
Smart play by Hike to hold up for just a second. If that gets caught on a line drive, you don't want to get doubled off. Was able to use his speed to keep on going through.
With that, going back to the base with the line drive, that was going to be able to keep him at third, but it was enough in the gap that Kapsner couldn't get to it in time. And nice job of hitting by the leadoff hitter there to bring the runner home.
So Daney's on at first. His first run batted in.
Daney has good speed. He'd be a threat to steal here if they wanted to try to do that.
First pitch taken upstairs by Karatley. So the first lead since it was 4-1 going into the 5th. That one's flown towards right. A chance for Funk. Started in, now going back, reaches up and makes the catch. Back to first base goes Daney. One down.
Can he hit that hard? Nice play by the right fielder.
Yeah, good job to recover. I think he took a step in there and almost got over his head, but is able to recover and make the catch.
Here's Alex Evenson on base twice via the error back in the 3rd inning and scored a run. He's also walked and grounded out.
Yeah, an intentional walk last time. I think there was a runner on second.
Here he's got a runner at first and one down in the 7th. She's taking 9 away.
Can keep it right here and try to get out of the inning and give Pioneers a chance in the bottom.
Yeah, Alex Evenson's going to go play college baseball next year at Century Junior College. Good lefty pitcher when he's not playing left field, but outstanding hitter.
Took the 1-0 down and away. It's 2-0. Alex Jordan would follow. He's had 2 hits today as the Red Hawks trying to bolster this lead late. Strike taken, it's 2-1.
Yeah, nice curveball there. Tough to pull the trigger on that one.
Quick throw over to first.
I always wonder sometimes when you have a pitcher like Alex right here who's up at bat, how much are they thinking about themselves as a pitcher? What would I throw right here? What might this kid be throwing me? You wonder if maybe it's too much going on.
2-1, lifted towards the gap in left center field. Long run for Gertz. He won't get there. A dive by the center fielder, Kapsner. He can't come up with it. 1 run coming home to score, and it's a 2-run lead for the Red Hawks, who burst through on the RBI double for Alex Evenson.
Alex has good power to that opposite field like that. He hit one like that in the semifinal game at Pitts Field. I thought that center fielder was going to get it. Made a nice attempt at it, nice dive, but just squeezed by him.
So now Rushlow. Giving up a pair of runs here in the 7th after he had gone scoreless for 3 straight.
2 outs here, 107 pitches. We're coming to the end of his pitch count here, but
Coach there, has decided to leave him out there. I thought maybe he'd make the switch right there. A couple hard hit balls, and like you say, getting up over 107 here.
See just how close Kapsner came in center field to making that grab.
Steven Johnson's coming in as a as a pinch runner. Steven's a senior, does a lot of courtesy running for us. A lot of times runs for the catcher. He's going to go to Luther College next year. A big soccer player and play soccer at Luther.
Johnson on at second to the RBI double from Evenson. First pitch swinging by Alex Jordan. It's fouled back. He had singles in his first 2 at-bats, scored a run, and drove in 1. He's 2 for 3.
It'd be nice to get another run right here. Steven Johnson also has excellent speed. For the Red Hawks, of course.
It's their 3rd 2-run inning of this game. They spin and Rushlow will look.
Like I say, that 3rd out of the inning is always tough to get, so hopefully we can get things rolling here.
Started the inning with a strikeout. 0-1. Fly ball out towards left. Shallow left towards foul territory. Long run, and Tauchus just comes up short, nips off the front of his glove.
He went a long ways for that.
Yeah, that's a shortstop's play right there. I know it's always tough on third baseman to be running kind of over their head like that. Nice hustle. I thought he was going to get it.
Just off the tip.
So a single after the strikeout, back-to-back singles, then the fly ball out to right. RBI single from Daney, RBI double from Evenson. Pinch runners out at second.
Yeah, let's see if Jordan can make the most of this next chance that he's got.
0-2, high and away. In the bottom of the 7th to try and come back and tie or take the lead. It'll be the 3-4-5 hitters for the Pioneers.
That's why any runs we can get would definitely be helpful. It's going to be tough to hold Pierz down.
Down low, 2-2.
Especially now that they've seen Tyson throw a little bit, start to make adjustments and see how he's pitching. And
see if Rushlow can come in here and get this last pitch right here.
2-2. Flown foul, third base
Job
side
by
out of
the
play.
hitter fighting off that curveball. Good pitch.
That was number 112 of the day for Rushlow.
Pitcher can finish the at bat, correct? So
Correct.
if he goes over
So
115.
Yep. So if he goes over one, even like if he'd get out here at 113, he could pitch one more guy.
Got it.
Ground ball slowly to third. Suska up with it over to first. Long stretch, didn't get him. And that was pitch 113. Runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Steven Johnson was thinking about it with the first baseman on the ground.
So an infield hit, just hit slow enough. That is the 8th base hit of the game for the Red Hawks. And that will be it for Rushlow. With Johnny Goff coming to the plate with 2 more runners on, and the Pioneers fans give Rushlow a tremendous ovation as he throws 6 2/3, kept his team in at every step of the way.
Bringing the catcher in, right?
Correct. Yep. They'll probably just switch spots here. So Matt Cummett, the senior, he's kind of been in that closer role the last 3 years, just coming in kind of like Tyson has been for Minnehaha. Matt's kind of our closer as well. Hasn't started many games, but he'll be coming in and Preston will be going behind the plate.
Looks like Colton Bozer will go out and do some relief catching in the interim. Everybody else gets geared up.
It's great to have the webcast here to be able to have family and friends watching. I know my parents, Grandma Dot and Grandpa Mike DiNardo, they're watching in New Jersey, so I'll give a little shout out to them.
Right, as well as my uncle is watching in Fairbanks, Alaska. So
wow,
again, just
got things covered here.
Yep, across the nation.
Quite literally, not even just the contiguous U.S. We're going out to Alaska.
I know it's a little tougher to show in all the venues. Not every baseball venue has that ability, so it's great to have it here at Target Field. It was really fun during basketball season when on spring break our boys team was in the state tournament, and a lot of people, they could watch from afar, watch on their phones or on their iPads or whatever. It was really fun to be able to do that.
Matthew Cummett will go to the mound 2-0 in the regular season, 17 1/3 innings pitched, 20 strikeouts over those 17 plus. He's tasked with getting 1 more out, and then he'll have to turn around once he can do that and try and get things started in the bottom half of the 7th with a state championship on the line.
And again, just a credit to Minnehaha, they always, putting the bat on the ball. Coming in, we knew they're very, very good hitters, and they showed it here today. It just kept battling away and putting good swings on some pretty good pitches, actually.
And then now John Goff coming up. You have a new pitcher in. You know he's going to want to try to get that first pitch strike. I'd love to see some aggressive hitting right here.
Yeah, when I coached, whenever they brought a new pitcher in, I said, be ready for that first foul. Just go and get it. Don't wait, So we'll see what happens.
I know the boys say, they want to see a pitch or something,
right.
But, now that's not the time. Go ahead and give it a whack.
Yep, exactly.
So there'll be runners on the corners. First pitch to be thrown by Cummett to John Goff, who tripled in his first at bat to drive home the first run of the game. So 4-0 lead at one point for the Red Hawks. Pierz came all the way back to tie it at 4 in the bottom of the 5th. Scoreless 6th both ways. Now 2 in the 7th. With 2 more out there for the Red Hawks. Step to third, look to first move.
And if this was Little League, we would see some kind of steal a first, try to get into a rundown.
Right.
You see less and less of that as you move up the levels, but
They still might try something here. You get 2 strikes and
try to make something happen.
right.
Breaking ball just
delayed
missed.
steal or early break, never know.
Yep.
To your guys' point, Cummett comes with that first pitch breaking ball, stays away from Groove in the fastball. 1-0 pitch. There's the fastball outside corner for a strike.
All right, so here we go with 2 strike. You never know. Let's see what happens with the runner on first base. Good speed at third, so if there's any kind of throw down, Johnson should be able to score from there.
1-1. Ground ball down towards third, right towards the bag. A long throw for Suska, picked out at first by Dickman. 5-3 put out. One batter later does end the inning, but 2 runs on 4 hits, and the Red Hawks can secure 3 outs to go back-to-back as state champs at 2A. The Pioneers, something to say about it when we come back here on Prep45.com.
All right, here we go.
So a 2-run 7th inning for the Red Hawks. And now they will turn to Bennett Tyson for another inning of work. Here in the 7th, he delivers a first pitch strike to Matt Cummett as it's a 6-4 lead for the Red Hawks. Tyson delivers a pitch too far inside.
We have to score 2 here, so hopefully we can get things rolling.
Ground ball headed towards the middle, off the glove of Tyson. Second baseman grabs it, fires to first, and Cummett has the first hit. They will get the tying run to the plate.
Good stop by Karatley there.
None of us can hear each other.
Yeah. Good stop by Karatley there. Maybe an ill-advised throw.
And he was able to knock it down, keep maybe some extra bases away.
Yep.
If that trickles out into center field.
Actually, Coach Dave Glenn was telling a story, their former coach at the banquet last week, and he said that he was telling the story of one of his old assistant coaches. He said there are 2 kinds of throws. There's a good throw and no throw. And Kenny almost had a bad throw there trying to make something happen when he obviously was going to be safe at first. But runner on first to lead off the inning.
Just what Pierz needed to get that leadoff guy on, see if they can keep things rolling here.
It's Eric Stuckmeyer who does come on to do the pinch running. He's been in
That's why adding that insurance run and the extra tacking on that run is huge for Minnehaha here.
Check swing from Rushlow. He did go that time. Down in the count 0-2. Yeah, it does get the tying run to the plate now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Game of inches. I mean, that ball just sneaked past Bennett Tyson's glove there.
Upstairs, Tyson missed with the fastball. It's 1-2. So he has come on. Issued a walk and a 2-run single. All the runs charged the starter Brumley. And then a scoreless 6th inning for Tyson. Inside corner, strike 3 call.
Good hard throw there by Tyson.
1 down in the 7th. 2 outs away now for the Red Hawks.
Now throwing the ball hard, that's his bread and butter there. He's got good strength. You have to mix in the curveball and the changeups here and there, but when it comes down to it, he's going to try to beat it with the power and the speed.
It's his 6th punch out. As he watches Kapsner dig in and delivers a pitch outside, it's 1-0.
And he's fun to watch pitch. He came in a similar situation at University of Northwestern for the section finals. And he just has a smile on his face. You know, he's out there loving playing baseball and loves to have the pressure on him. This is not too big for him to be out here with the game on the line.
Yeah, you never know. Just a sophomore. Swings that arm. Runner off of first base after the lead single. Fastball upstairs. It's 2-0.
Good plate discipline there. I know several guys have been caught swinging at that and missing.
See if Kapsner can work on to get that tying run on base here.
He's 1 for 2 today. Outside for ball 3, 3-0. Gertz is next. He had the big 2-run RBI single that tied the game in the 5th.
For sure, he'll be taking 3-0 here. Sarah might even have him taking 3-1 just to make, if you can't work that guy.
Up high off the glove, ball 4. So the tying run is on base. The winning run comes to the plate.
Well, here's our Luke Gertz again. Has had some big hits the last, had the big hit to tie this game up, as well as that we talked about before with the big 2-run tripper against Foley in a section championship game. So see if old Luke can do it again.
Yeah, I'd expect the outfield to move to positions where they won't allow any doubles. You don't want to let 2 runs score here.
Left fielder taking a couple of steps back. Right fielder Jordan took a couple of steps in. First pitch to Gertz. Just missed. 1-0. Gertz 5 for 9 in the state tournament with his single. Back in the 5th. 5 straight out of the zone from Tyson. There he comes back in, outside corner with the fastball. It's 1-1.
John Goff playing behind the runner at first. Make sure that nothing squeezes by him there. You definitely want to get that second out, no matter what. Get the second out right here. It takes a lot of pressure off of the fielders and the pitcher.
Swung on and missed. Off speed, ball gets away though. That moves the tying run into scoring position.
That was big. Now we got the tying run at second base. Puts a little more pressure on the defense. Again, maybe a hit can tie this game up.
So Gertz is down in the count 1-2 as he swung and missed at the wild pitch. Those are the Pioneer fans. Their team 2 outs away from the season being done and coming up 1 game short, but a base hit away from starting this game again at 6.
Yeah, weird play there. It almost looked like it might have been a foul tip, but no, just tipped off the catcher's glove.
1-2, flared down the right field line, and that'll be foul.
Just a little bit late on the swing. Good line drive hit, though.
Just that close. Stays at 1-2. Gertz, a 390 plus hitter in the regular season, drove in 12, had a home run. Now has 3 RBI in the state tournament.
Infield staying back. They want to get it out here, make that second out. Definitely not allow anything to dribble through them. Keep that runner on second from scoring.
Tyson delivers. That one's flown out towards shallow right field. Back goes Karatley. He'll make the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, so good adjustment by Karatley. He had just slid over there a little bit more to his left after learning from what the batter had done the last couple of times. A good piece of pitching by Tyson.
Not a tough, not an easy ball rather to track. Jordan was in to provide help as well. So now 2 outs.
Pioneers down there to find it out here, and again, all you can ask for is that runner in scoring position. We got a couple chances here, so let's see if Dickman can come through.
Had an RBI single in the 4th, takes a strike. Tyson, who was out of the zone, walking the 3rd batter of this inning, has come back into the zone and focused back.
Good breaking ball to start there against Dickman.
The 0-1 pitch. Flown right side, and that's going to hook out a play, and now 1 strike away are Tyson and the Red Hawks from going back-to-back as state champs. Conversation with Evenson and Tyson.
Sure, Evenson's just letting him know, hey, come on, we got 2 strikes, stay within yourself.
Yeah, I look for him to come up with that high fastball here again. See what Dickman can do with it.
Tying run is Kapsner at second. Stuckmeyer down the line at 3rd. Tyson trying to leave him there and win it. An 0-2. Flared foul again.
Good at bat here by Dickman, really fighting off a couple there.
Looks like the catcher broke his glove, maybe?
Oh boy.
For a new glove, I don't know.
1 more out to go in the season.
probably his, I'm not sure, actually he might be playing Legion, but he'll be moving on to play hockey exclusively next year. So hopefully this glove's the lucky one here for this, maybe one more pitch.
Evenson gave it a once over.
There you go.
0-2 again, both sides. Fans are standing. The 0-2. Strike three called outside corner, and the once and still champs are the Red Hawks of Minnehaha Academy.
He went back to that outside fastball, tough pitch to hit.
Good job, kind of locked, froze Dickman up and got the third strikeout there. Again, great year for the Pioneers, though. They can't, they're a little down here. They're right in this game, but they can't hang their heads. Just a great year. Finished second in the state. There'll be a lot of teams that want to finish second in the state, and I credit to Coach Sayre and his staff and all the kids in the community. Just a nice run this year to take second place, first time in school history.
49 wins over the last 2 years combined for the Pioneers, up against now just 8 losses. Third place a year ago, and now second place here after they came back from 4-0 down. And Mike, on the other side for the Red Hawks, they've won 78 games over the last 3 seasons, and they've capped the last 2 with state titles. Yeah, this senior class of 10 guys, they have been just outstanding for these last few years. 2 state titles, a second place the year before. Their slogan for the year was "Stay on target." They wanted to get back to this spot, and they know we actually only have 1 junior, so a lot of turnover next year. It'll be a completely different team. We do have some key players with our pitchers coming back and our shortstop, but there'll be a much different team out on the field next year when we start again in April. Well, so some celebration to do both ways. The Red Hawks will take home the top hardware, but the Pioneers, nothing to hang their heads about on the other side. And, you guys both kind of encapsulated it pretty well, but I want to give you each one more chance to kind of put the capper on the season. And Dave, we'll start with you for the Pioneers and for your school.
Well, I just think for these seniors, Matt Cummett and Matt Taugis, Lane Gertz, Brett Kapsner, and the other seniors, just to cap this off with being down here at Target Field in second place. Everything they've done for the school has just been awesome, and I think, and they're pretty down right now, but like I said just a little bit earlier, to take second place in the state, what a credit to them, and just a nice career to cap it off. Unfortunately, you lose your last game, but again, you look back 10, 15 years from now and say, hey, we took second place. What a credit to them guys.
It wasn't always easy, Mike. You mentioned some of the close games. St. Paul Academy in section play, even down early in the first game of this state tournament. So much pride for these guys to come back and fight through all of that of a full season to win 2 straight. Yeah, Coach Glenn has said that about these seniors all year. They've just stayed within themselves, not getting rattled. They understand that baseball is a long game and there's no time limit, and so you always have an opportunity to make a play. And these kids never let things bother them. They make an error, they make a couple outs. You never see it really get into their heads for future at-bats or future plays. The seniors especially have been a great example to all these younger players who will kind of take over the reins here over the next year after these last 3 years of being here at Target Field. So I'm sure those guys are going to want to have their own piece right here. They're going to announce the all-state team for Class 2A, and we will join the House PA announcer for that.
From New London Spicer, shortstop Wyatt White. Rochester Lord, infielder Joe Mackin. Duluth Marshall, infielder pitcher Derek Wynn. Duluth Marshall, infielder pitcher Peter Hansen. Maple Lake, infielder pitcher Hunter Malachek. Maple Lake, outfielder pitcher Ben Riley. From Pierz, infielder Lane Gertz. From Pierz, pitcher infielder Matt Taugis. And from Pierz, catcher pitcher Matthew Cummett. Minnehaha Academy pitcher outfielder Alex Evenson. Minnehaha Academy catcher Justin Evenson. And from Minnehaha Academy, third baseman pitcher Bennett Tyson. Wells Fargo, the Minnesota State High School League, congratulate all members of the 2017 Class 2A All-Tournament team. Congratulations, All-Tournament 2A. Nice job, kid. Now the presentation of awards. Assisting with the presentation, board representatives, Steve Beals, Montevideo, Emmett Keenan, St. Cloud Cathedral, Deb Pauley from Jordan, Wade Johnson, Warren, Alvarado, Oslo, and Betsy Anderson from Hopkins, along with Kevin Merkel. Silver medals, second place trophy, awarded to Pierz Pioneers. Please step forward, receive your medal as your name is called. Number 1, Matthew Taugis. 2, Matt Cummett. 4, Thomas Funk. 5, Alex Funk. 6, Colton Moser. 7, Terrell Shaw. 8, Lane Gertz. 9, Isaac Adi. 10, Reese Kapsner. 11, Jackson Suska. 12, Peter Schomer. 14, Luke Gertz. 16, Jesse Marshik. 17, Eric Stuckmeyer. 18, Derek Schomer. 19, Brett Kapsner. 20, Alec Lochner. 21, Preston Rushlow. 22, Jonathan Hopkins. 23, Brandon Dickman. And number 2, injured Lucas Adi. Student manager, Calvin Arsenault. Assistant coaches, Rick Shabluski. Dylan Pittman. And head coach, Dan Sayer. Ladies and gentlemen, Pierz finishes the season 26-3. 26-3. And now will the captains of the Pierz Pioneers please step forward and accept your second place trophy in Class AA. Congratulations, the Pierz Pioneers. Gold medals and the championship trophy will be awarded to the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks. Again, step forward to receive your medal as your name is called. Number 1, Simon Hike. 2, Joseph Linton. 3, Noah Daney. 4, Stephen Johnson. 5, Kenny Karatley. 6, Dylan Karatley. 7, Alex Evenson. 8, Mario Hike. 9, Justin Evenson. 10, Alexander Jordan. 11, Luke Mahler. 12, Connor Johnson. 13, James Wong. 14, Roddy McDonald. 15, Luke Johnson. 16, Michael DiNardo. 18, Will Wanry. 20, Bennett Tyson. 22, Brock Rumley. 32, John Goth. Your student managers are Bennett Thorough and Nick Wong. Assistant coach, Tom Kahns. Joe Protzman. And head coach, Scott Glenn. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnehaha Academy finishes the season 26-2. 26-2. And now will the captains of Minnehaha Academy please step forward and accept your championship trophy in Class AA. The Minnehaha Academy Redhawks, congratulations. Coming up next, it'll be the Class 3A championship game, Waconia and Hibbing. Waconia and Hibbing.